E3 2018 is over, so we figured what better time for the return of the Bombchu Gaming Podcast. My name is Andron, and I'm being joined by...
I'm Chris.
I'm Austin.
And today we're discussing E3 2018. I figured we can just do it conference by conference since, that's kind of how it did chronologically anyway. So I figured we just kick things off with EA. What do you guys think of their conference?
So they were hyper aware of their image for the past year, which was very unlike them. Usually they kind of just ignore whatever people are upset with them about. And they were constantly addressing any game that they had free content later, or like that you knew was going to have monetization. So they were very clear: no loot boxes, no pay to win. Which is, it's good. It sucks that we had to be in a point where we needed them to say that in order for us to not expect it.
Yeah.
But at the very least, it's good to see that they are aware and addressing it finally.
Yeah. They kind of had to be. It was too much of a big deal for them to just ignore it. And it was better for them to just get out in front of it and just acknowledge it and do the best they could with the bad situation.
That's true, but for me, I guess the whole loot box thing was it wasn't started by them, but they kind of ran away with it. So it's one of those too little, too late things. Like they could say, "Oh, there's no loot boxes in this," but I guarantee Anthem's going to have some kind of bullshit monetization that we're not aware of yet. Like I'm just imagining the worst on that one. It'll be fun, I'm sure, but yeah, I don't see them running too far away from their whole money making system there.
Well, if it's anything like so, Dota can make money, and they make good money off of cosmetics, and they've found other ways to do it, like the battle pass and things like that.
That's true,
and that's worked out pretty well without feeling bad or unfair. And if they can like that, if they can try that out and they get it to work, especially if Anthem is supposed to be a long-running game, like they say, I hope that it works for them and that it pays off and that they see that that's a viable option for their other games.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm not expecting, but I am hoping.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing with Anthem, especially. It's like I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I want this game to be good, but you've got EA and BioWare. The last thing BioWare put out killed the Mass Effect franchise. And you've got EA with all their loot box stuff, and you have to be worried about Anthem just based off the track record of the people involved. But I'm still cautiously optimistic for it because it does look fun.
It does.
I guess speaking of Anthem, like just in general, I think the quality is there, and if they do say, okay, well, we're going to do cosmetics kind of like Dota, I wouldn't have a problem with that, especially if it's like have a cool looking javelin, or I think that's what they call their robots. So
yeah, I think they're javelins.
Yeah. So that wouldn't be a bad deal there, but I guess EA is the company to hate. Like it's fun to hate them, but at the same time, like they don't really have a good, reliable track record of changing their ways and keep their ways changed. They usually find another way to take all the money they can out of us, But, that aside, there were some other games in EA's conference that I was excited about, especially like Sea of Solitude.
Sea of Solitude.
I was going to say, Sea of Solitude looks really fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This was the bright spot. And, right before it was Unravel 2, of course. They were just like balls out. Hey, it's available today. Like that was a pretty baller move. It's co-op. And then immediately after Sea of Solitude, which is probably one of my most anticipated games this year after seeing that trailer.
Definitely.
So they had that. That was really awesome. And that also is kind of the goodwill of, hey, we're funding these artistic independent games, and yeah, that's awesome. But man, if you look at the rest
of with the originals, looks really cool.
If you look at the rest of their press conference, it was a really just like couldn't have like they basically took any prediction someone would have made of just ultra safe predictions, and that was their whole press conference.
That's kind of true.
EA Sports, all the new yearly entries in those, but that's like half of their stuff. And then Battlefield 5, of course, and they're jumping on the Battle Royale bandwagon.
Yeah. If any game fits the Battle Royale genre, it would be Battlefield. I mean, it seems custom built for that kind of gameplay with the larger team size and larger player counts and the bigger maps.
Sure,
it's a good
but
fit.
it's yet another Battle Royale.
Like
where it's kind of like the big MOBA craze from a few years ago, where it was just like everyone's making a MOBA, and every MOBA failed except for that small handful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a problem with, like you said, that predictability. Like I know Austin and I watched it on the couch, just talking shit, whatever. And I forget what it was. I think it was the Origin Access Premier or whatever it was called. And you're like, oh, it's a paid service. And then he was like, this is a paid service that you. And it was really surprising. Like, sorry, it was unsurprising that happened, and it just kind of went on from there. And another weird, like, I guess thing about that was they did like their FIFA 19, their Madden 19. They did all that stuff, and they still brought like the people on stage. We knew before it started, I was like, Pele's gonna be there. They brought some random football celebrity on there. I was like, okay, well,
with the esports guy.
Mm-hmm.
For Matt, like, it was like, who's this guy? Why does anyone care? And everything that they said, where they were just like, they would pause for applause, and just pure silence.
Dead.
Like, damn, like, this is really awkward.
I don't think EA like really understands what E3 should be, which is like new reveals, new things, and they kind of did the same. It was almost the exact same games as last year, like just with different things filling in different slots. Like there was basketball, football, sports, Battlefield, Battlefront. And, you could just go down the list of what was there last year. Same thing this year, and then they swapped out the indie titles because those are the only like revolving cast of the regulars. So why even do E3 if we know everything they're going to do at that point? You know.
So
go ahead.
There was one point where they brought a bunch of people out, or brought two people out with cell phones and had them fight in this new game that they were showing off as much as they could before revealing the title, Command and Conquer, for mobile. The series they killed off that so many people want more of. They were doing a mobile game, and it was. This was kind of a running theme throughout a lot of the conferences where the developers would go, we know people are going to hate this, so we're going to kind of talk around it for a bit before revealing what it is, and upsetting them. And then EA didn't do this, but most of the other ones, they would go, okay, now in that same franchise, here's what you actually want.
Yeah.
But we wanted to get the one out of the way that we knew you were going to hate.
That was another one where like it started the video and they didn't say anything, and I kind of looked over at Austin. I was like, what the fuck game is this? And then they showed like one tank out of it. I was like, oh, that's Command and Conquer. Like immediately, it wasn't. It wasn't predictable. I literally looked up and went, oh, that's a Terran fucking thing. And I was like, that's what that is. And then we just went from there. And then it was like, surprise, it's Command and Conquer Rivals. And I was like, yeah, I knew that. To its credit, it looks really fun. Like for a mobile title, I think it could be pretty cool. But you said there was like another mobile app that's almost exactly like it, or another game kind of like it out there.
It reminded me a lot of Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Which some other games have also ripped off.
Yeah.
So kind of chasing the it had some differences. And of course it's got like the look and sounds of Command and Conquer, but yeah, I don't.
Can we just have a real Command and Conquer game, please?
They don't want to compete in that market though. Like if they try to enter that market, like StarCraft has already destroyed that market for the most part. Like RTS games don't exist anymore because of StarCraft 2.
Yeah, sadly that's
I mean, the only things around it are kind of like the XCOM type games, but even those, XCOM almost has like a stranglehold on currently. So it's weird. Like there's no room really in the market anymore, I think, for like RTSs. Even MOBAs are kind of dying outside of the main 3 that survived, or main 4 that survived, I guess, you know?
Well, I think part of that is with games becoming a service. If there's a massive game that covers a very specific niche genre, or I say niche, when you're getting Dota having millions and millions of players, that's not exactly niche anymore, right? But
exactly.
MOBA is not like a big genre because there's only the handful of games, and that's because you have that long-running service. This game is filling the need for that genre pretty much completely. Why would I jump to another game that requires all my time and more money and this, that, and the other?
Yeah,
that's games as a service. It's kind of there's a lot of weird good and bad to that.
Yeah, definitely. let's see what else was even in that one, because there was a lot, but there wasn't like something. Oh, Jedi Fallen Order was kind of announced.
Not this year.
Not this year, though.
Definitely not this year.
I mean, that guy was very adamant on it. I guess that was the game Respawn Entertainment's been working on forever, and I haven't seen any other details outside of it falls between. I forgot what games it was, but it was like movies. It was
it's
rather.
supposed to be.
It's between 3 and 4.
3 and 4, right? It's the bridge between the two, so that's kind of cool.
But that's it. That's all.
That's all we know.
All there was. It's Jedi Fallen Order.
Who's the only Jedi around at that time? Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
maybe
unless,
some asshole who lived in secret.
Mace Windu, man, he's gonna get arms, robot arms,
and become
main character.
General Snoke.
Oh god!
According to that fan theory.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny, actually. But outside of that, there weren't too many games outside of the ones we touched on already. So, one thing I did want to say about their conference, like, I don't know if maybe their marketing team got involved or something,
but looping footage.
How did they not think that was a problem when people are watching the live?
Clips like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, that's like a YouTube thing to do. Like we do that because we don't have the footage, but they have the games playable to capture the footage.
Did you people not know how long you were going to talk or show these things for? Like, come on.
It's like they didn't plan it out. Then they went, "Oh crap, he talked for more than 10 seconds. We gotta loop this."
Here, show some concept art for the game that we've been working on for years and years.
And it wasn't just like 1 or 2 games. Like Anthem did it. I was surprised that they looped it.
Star Wars Battlefront, which has been out forever.
Yeah.
How do they not just have a bucket of back footage for that?
They could have just like taken a YouTube video and been like, "Oh yeah, this is totally ours. Thanks, YouTube guy," and it would have been better than what they had currently. So that was really disappointing for me. It kind of just made it feel like to me like they didn't give a crap about E3. They were just like, well, we're here, we gotta put on a show, they're not gonna care if we loop it, whatever. Because no other conference except for like Bethesda kind of did it at one point, but that's because they didn't have any other footage. It was like a concept. So I mean, that's really about the worst that you can do, I think, in my opinion. But any closing thoughts on EA before we move on to Microsoft?
Just a bad conference.
It went better than I expected. Yeah, but I mean, so I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah, I was impressed with the what they showed of Anthem. I'm getting slightly more excited for that game, but like I said, it's EA and BioWare, so who knows? Yeah,
Anthem I'm definitely excited for. The co-op aspect kind of fixes a lot for me. Like if Mass Effect is ever co-op, I will buy Mass Effect to play with friends because that's a game I can mess around in, and that's really what I look for in co-op games. But maybe that'll redeem Anthem. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's good though, because if not, Fallout 76 will take all of that. So okay, so Microsoft, of course, they started off with a Halo Infinite tease and talked about it not at all after that. So
I don't know anything about that game. I know nothing except they have a new engine for it.
The only thing I could gather from what people had said online is it's a continuation of the story from 5.
But it looked like to me almost like Halo 1 reminiscent. Like
somebody had asked somebody about that, and they said they're just using an older inspired art style. It's not supposed to be his armor from 1. It's just supposed to look.
It's supposed to bring out the feelings of 1. I'm guessing. Okay, fair enough. The only thing I could think of that game is it may be like a open, never-ending world like Destiny is what they're going for, but that I don't know. Halo's always been really focused and nice, so I don't know if it'll play well in a Destiny environment. It could. I mean, that's essentially what Destiny is, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's what I think. It's going to be Destiny. What do you guys think? Like something similar to that, or?
I think it's going to be on PC. Well, I know that because it's going to be on PC. And I think that I'm going to be able to play Halo on PC, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Fair enough.
And then that combined with the rumors of Master Chief Collection coming to PC.
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be cool. Oh well, I mean, it probably is going to happen. No reason not to with the Game Pass doing so well and everything else. I guess. Yeah,
exactly. It would make sense.
Yeah, a lot of what I got from Microsoft's thing is even though they're not necessarily in first place, they feel really confident in their position, like just from the overall feel of it. Like they're like,
they showed really good so many games.
They did,
and they just went from game to game to game. And anytime somebody was on stage talking, it was for like 2 seconds, and they're like, "Oh, let's look at the game."
Yeah, it was actually interesting too.
They had a very strong showing compared to a lot of the other companies this year, just from. a lot of what they were showing weren't exclusives, but
Yeah.
their conference was a lot more exciting because they got to show off a lot of stuff that didn't show up in other ones, or if they did, they got shown at Microsoft first.
Yeah. That was kind of another thing from EA. Like, they had that Battlefield 5 kind of teaser, and then they went, here, the story, come back tomorrow for Microsoft. And then Microsoft, of course, got to show, like, the single player and all that cool stuff there. And I guess they bought the rights for that, and that's cool. The single player definitely was interesting from that. But like you said, yeah, they had a lot of quote-unquote exclusive, console exclusive, launch exclusive stuff. And they were very happy to put it on stage, like, world premiere and exclusive and, blows up your butt and stuff like that. But
yeah, Microsoft went all out this year, and it shows, because they had a really great presentation overall.
Yeah.
I'm really upset that they bought Ninja Theory.
Yes, agreed.
Because like, I'm fine. If they were just like, they don't put stuff on PS4 anymore, that, whatever. I could live with that.
Yeah.
But I want to play their stuff on Steam. Stop taking good games off of Steam.
Put it on their
Microsoft store.
Shit show Xbox store.
God, please, no.
It's gotten a little better, but yeah, there's still a lot of problems with that Xbox store, I think.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how or why, I guess, they bought each one of them. Like, Undead Labs, I guess, makes sense because they make State of Decay.
State of Decay, which they make for Xbox anyways.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, that's a Microsoft published game. So.
Yeah, and like Playground Games, I guess they already make Forza, so it's like, well, that's kind of
that makes
anyway.
sense.
But
Ninja Theory?
Yeah,
really?
That was out of left field for me.
Yeah.
I was surprised they let themselves be bought, but I guess they're like, well, we finally get money without having to do stuff for it. And also, did We Happy Few change again, or is it still a survival game?
So I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, and they were talking a lot about it, and they had hands-on with the game last year or the year before, something like that, and it was a pretty bare-bones survival crafting kind of game.
Yeah.
Which was way different from the feel you got from the first trailer that was shown. Well, apparently they've been changing the game quite a bit based off of fan feedback from the beta and feedback
as well as
from
Gearbox.
Everyone being pissed as hell.
Yeah. So now, they've changed the game again, and it's supposed to be closer to a BioShock game.
Okay.
With some survival stuff.
That's what it looked
like. That's what I expected. And after I knew it was a survival game and I watched that trailer, I was like, that isn't what the game is. And I looked around, I couldn't find anything. So I'm glad you were able to find that. So that's good. I'm glad that Gearbox was like, no, make a good game or something.
Yeah. Well, and it shows that they're really apparently from what I've heard from people who have been in the beta, they've been pretty responsive to player input.
Yeah.
On what it is. So
that's good.
It's good. I'm back to being excited about the game.
Yeah,
because I was excited with that first trailer, and then when I found out what the game was, I gave up.
I'll have to see it. When they went through that many changes, it's kind of scary to me. Kind of like when a movie changes directors over and over, like that. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So I'll have to wait and see what it comes out as at the end. But I'm not anticipating anymore. I'm expecting
I'll
to be
get
a
it when it goes on sale for like $5.
Yeah. Maybe it comes in a humble bundle or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be really good. You don't know.
I would be happy to play through it if I get it for a low price or free. I'm not. It's not one that I want to buy.
Extremely pessimistic about that. Not optimistic, pessimistic. So
see, I'm staying optimistic.
It's changed too many publishers, too many. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop because I will go into what I think is gonna come out as. It's gonna be the thing that makes Microsoft shutter them. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Ninja Theory. I don't know how they felt when like Devil May Cry 5 came on the screen because they worked on the remake,
DMC.
And the guy came out and he was like, "It's back, haha!" I was like, "Damn!" Like that's a slap in the damn face for a game they worked hard on. Yeah.
Capcom was never going to make DMC 2, though. They had these horribly high expectations for DMC, which was a great game.
It was very good, yeah.
And it sold, I think they said it had, the number that they said it needed to sell, it was never going to reach.
Okay.
But because of that, they just left it to die. It's good that Devil May Cry is still a thing, and they're going to continue the old series that everybody liked. It's sad that we'll never see DMC 2 because I really did like that version of Dante.
Yeah.
And the gameplay was very Bayonetta, like it was very good.
I was going to say, I like the gameplay a lot better. It felt more fluid like they were trying to do in Devil May Cry for years. It just felt like it
Yeah.
flowed better because you had different keys for different weapons, and then all your combos made sense after a while.
Yeah.
But they put
not Dante.
yeah, but Dante's also not the main character in this one. So, so like it's Nero, I think's the guy from
Yeah.
4, isn't it him?
DMC4. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought 4 was also one everyone hated, but apparently not. So I guess I was wrong.
4
on
had its
that.
problems, but it was fun. And Nero's an interesting character.
I thought 4 was a piece of shit, so I don't know what they're doing with 5 to make it better.
We'll see.
I like the hand thing, I guess. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah,
Dante looks like a dirty old grandpa. and
which
it's
he
great.
should, and he sounds
Something's
like
weird with his face.
I think they used the Infinite model for him, honestly.
What I had heard was they changed the faces of Nero and Dante so that they look more like the voice actors.
Oh, so they
Apparently Dante looks
mocap?
just like what is it, Ear Lowenthal? No. Who's that other voice actor?
Oh,
Crap. But yeah, supposedly I think they're doing face scanning of the voice actors for Dante and Nero.
to make it easier to animate, I guess. Okay, that's
I
fair
would,
enough.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Gears Pop. And
Oh my
they-
god. Okay,
That's
this
how
is
you
the perfect example. They're like, oh, there's something in a franchise that you love, and they show the Gears sign. I'm like, hell yeah, Gears 5, all right.
Surprise, it's
It's a
Funko.
pop figure. I'm like, no, what's happening? And then it keeps going. I'm like, okay, they're just advertising some toys. They go, Gears Pop, it's a new game.
Man.
No! And then they go, oh, we got something else that we're making for you. It's specifically for PC. I was like, oh shit, they're making Gears 5 for PC?
hmm
It's Gears Tactics. No, what are you doing? I don't know what's happening. And then they go, and of course, here's Gears 5. And I was like, oh,
Which looked awesome.
thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that was another example of them going, let's get the shit you're going to hate out of the
Uh-huh.
way. And then we'll give you what you're actually wanting so you won't be so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was-
that's
I don't
good.
know what the hell Gears Pop is going to be.
It's a mobile game, right? Am I forgetting
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be.
No, it
Yeah,
was
Xbox
it was iOS and Google Play Store.
Yeah, it
So,
looked
yeah.
like some little kind of strategy RPG-ish game where you can combine like Locust with people. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked actually better than the Gears Tactics, in my opinion, because Gears Tactics looks like XCOM but shitty. So
Yeah.
like everything they did was just kind of janky and slow, but that could be like super
I think it's
alpha.
I think they said it was an alpha, right?
Yeah, maybe like super alpha because that definitely
Yeah.
looked not polished compared to most of Gears stuff. So I kind of like the Gears franchise expanding, but I don't. I guess I don't know where to put it. Like I always like the core games. Then they did kind of like the I forgot the name of that Gears where it was like
Judgment?
the side. Yeah, so that was fine. Like Gears Judgment, it was still a series game and it still had like some story, but these kind of seem like they're starting to whore it out a little bit. Get their money.
Well, they
in.
were going to do like a Connect game at one point,
Ugh,
right?
I'm
Which
glad
was
they
like
didn't.
an on-rails shooter or something. And
Yeah. It feels like what they kind of did with Resident Evil. After a while, like it just became a whore, and then it went, "We're not making any more of these side games. We're just gonna make the main ones."
Yeah.
And then the series got good again. So I mean, that was a good point that they made there. I don't know. What do you guys
Yeah.
think of Gears Pop and Gears Tactics?
I mean, Gears Pop.
I'm not looking forward to either one of them,
Mhm.
but I'll play the fuck out of Gears 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for Gears 5. I haven't played a Gears game in a while, but I don't know. I think I'm in the right place. I'm ready to return to
Who-
Gears.
Can you tell who died in the trailer?
I have
I don't know who
no
died.
I
earthly
have no
clue.
idea.
I was like, oh, it's probably this guy. And then that
Yeah,
person
then
would
he
show up. And I was like,
appeared.
it's probably this guy. I was like, no, that guy showed up too. I was like, who's dead?
Was there
No one else is having a reaction.
was there a different black guy in Gears 4, or did his hair just change? Because that's who I thought it was at first.
I think his hair just changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because it was Dell and JD.
yeah.
right?
I thought JD was the dead one, but then like
Then I did too, and then he showed up, but I didn't recognize
and also
him
like
'cause
Marcus
his head
doesn't give
was,
a fuck.
like,
So
shaved.
it's someone Marcus
Marcus
doesn't care
didn't give a
about.
fuck.
So he's just like, all right, I guess you got to go find out about your past. I'm Marcus. Yes, I'm
So-
sensitive now.
Do you think she's turning into like the new queen?
That's what I was thinking when I saw that
Because the old
trailer.
queen was like
Yeah.
human or
Mhm.
humanoid.
She was human, and then she like got a bunch of emotion. I guess she became like more not human, but she could control
Yeah, I
them.
don't
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That I'd be down for that. End of the game, she's like on the good side, but queen crazy bitch. That'd be cool. Fuck.
You're like commanding an army of locusts to
that would be
tear down some cog cities or something.
Badass. I would play that. And of course, they closed out the show with Cyberpunk 2077 that looked a lot different than I remember.
That game looks good,
I thought it had like a female main character a long time ago, but maybe I'm forgetting something.
There was a woman used like in the initial ad, but I think that was just kind of like an atmosphere. I bet that it could have changed a lot since then, because that was like 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time in production, and I guess it finally did it show a release date or even a window at the end of that? Or okay, so it's still not.
There was a hidden message in the trailer from the developers.
Oh,
it was like a huge long message that showed in like one frame of the trailer.
Okay.
Basically saying like, it was like, thank you to the fans for your patient wait. We know it's been a while, blah, blah, blah.
But they still didn't put a date?
He did a couple quick bullet point questions. He said, when's it coming out? When it's ready. So
wait, that was all in the trailer?
Yeah.
In that one frame?
Yeah. It was like, it's like a 2-page long message.
That's pretty good, man.
Wow.
But he was like, yeah, it's not going to have any microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Expect the same kind of post-launch content as you got with Witcher 3.
Awesome. I'm excited to see them do like a truly next-gen, because even though Witcher 3 was quote-unquote, next-gen, I think it was still built off their older engines, so it showed some really janky stuff. So okay, any other thoughts? Microsoft conference?
Battletoads is coming back.
I loved that teaser.
Cuphead's getting a DLC. Which is called Delicious Last Course, which stands for DLC. Fuck yeah, that's.
I didn't even put that together.
That took me longer than I'd like to admit.
I didn't even try to put it together. I was just like,
And Microsoft was. I didn't see the trailer. I don't remember seeing it in any other conference, but they showed off Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Yes, they did.
Oh my god, that game looks good.
I can't believe I almost forgot that. It definitely still has some Dark Souls.
It looks like
I see some
kind
of that.
Combat feel and movement feel to it.
Even the sound effect of him dying was Dark Souls. And then he pushes open the door just like regular Dark Souls.
Literally the exact same animation.
Yeah,
very different atmosphere and mechanics, probably.
It was very fast.
I'm cool. I really like the arm. Like I like how it turns to like an axe or like a weird
really cool.
hat
it felt
shield.
kind of like the trick weapons in Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, good call. I didn't even think about that. I did. Just so you know, I did call like Bloodborne set in feudal Japan. So
yeah,
long time ago. You heard it first on Bombchu. But I think Microsoft overall, like just as a conference, I think they had definitely one of the top ones. There's only one more that I think may have been a little bit better, but it wasn't better because of content. It was just better because I'm a fanboy. So that's what it comes down to for me. What do you guys think?
Can I bring up one more thing with Microsoft?
Yeah.
The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, you seem to like it. Andron, you seem to have about the same reaction that I felt.
Mm-hmm. Chris, go. And then
this
I'll tell
game
you
does
mine.
not look good to me. It's
Really?
like, why does this exist?
Chris,
It looks interesting.
why should I like it?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't. This is a game from Don't Nod, the people who made Life is Strange, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't play Life is Strange, and I guess it's set in that universe. I don't know.
Yes.
That's kind of what threw me off, I guess.
I don't know. Something about a kid dressing up playing superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But like,
And it's free. It's free. That's why you should be.
free.
It is free.
It's free. I don't understand why it exists.
I don't either.
So
Because it's like it's supposed to hint at things in season 2. Okay, that's fine. But like every bit of it was just like, oh, it's a kid and he's using his imagination, but he doesn't have any powers like the girl does in Life is Strange. And at one moment they hint at kind of a story that's interesting. It's like, oh, Dad, you shouldn't drink. I'm not going to be lectured by my son. And then, like, for the rest of the trailer, his dad's just, like, being a good dad. Like,
and, like, helping him out and stuff.
What is this game supposed to be? It doesn't seem to be, like, a narrative. It doesn't seem to have any, like, interesting gameplay. I don't know. I heard a lot of people like, oh, this looks cool. And I couldn't figure out what looked cool about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, it's the combination of little kid imagination combined with it's free. So
it is free, and that's a redeeming feature for me. But like,
so you know what else is free?
Fortnite.
AIDS.
I mean, you do pay a price.
there's lots of things that are free that are you have a cost of time.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not excited because I think this could potentially be something amazing. It's just the trailer got my interest, and the fact that it's free means
more inclined to be less disappointed because it's free, I guess.
Yeah, because at least
maybe they put it together and they were like, we can't charge money for this.
Well, okay, yeah, that's an.
But what are we gonna do?
We got to get rid of it. It was probably going to be like the intro to Life is Strange 2. They're like, this doesn't make any sense. We got to get out of here.
Well, I'm interested.
Okay.
My theory is it'll probably like lead into a character in Life is Strange 2. Like maybe the boy grows up and it's like, this is the kid that
and he still has no powers.
And then he gets powers is my guess. That'd be my only guess there. Maybe. He suddenly develops powers over the story. And then in Life is Strange 2, you meet him. You're like, oh yeah, we're going to bang. Or I don't know. I don't remember what happened in Life is Strange. So... Chris, anything else, or are you good on Microsoft?
The only other thing that I saw that was kind of intriguing was Sessions.
Oh,
that's the skateboarding game.
Was that? Yeah, and it wasn't that Skate.
That was the one that everybody was mad that was not Skate. Yeah,
which is stupid. It's Session,
and I mean, so I had to do a little bit of research because I'd never heard of it. But Session, I guess, was a Kickstarter game at first, and it's basically a game made by people who really like Skate and are mad that EA won't make more Skate. So now
they made Session.
Yeah, so now they made Session.
Yeah,
it looks interesting. It's apparently the control scheme is sort of an evolution of Skate's control scheme, where each control stick controls a different foot, and you use the shoulder buttons to turn. So it's a lot more. You have a lot more control over what you're doing, and it's supposed to be very hard to get used to, but once you kind of get into the flow of it, it's supposed to be really fun to play. So I'm interested to see how that turns out because I really like Skate.
Let's move on to Bethesda there, because basically I think we beat the crap out of Microsoft. They're good. They did a good job, but Bethesda had, I would say similar. Like they had a lot of content, but it was mostly stuff I kind of expected there. They kicked off with Rage 2 as well, and I'm hesitantly excited about it, I guess, because it's made by the guys who make Just Cause, and it looks like fun, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, it looks like the closest thing we're going to get to a Borderlands game for a while. So
I can't get myself excited for it.
Really?
Just anytime I watch footage of it, I've just fallen asleep.
Damn. Okay. Any particular reason, or
So I played Rage 1, and I didn't really love that one. And just watching the footage from Rage 2, nothing about it really just pops to me. A lot of their marketing is really good looking. Yeah. But like once I'm watching gameplay, it's just like,
Yeah. It was kind of awkward when they were going to talk about it too, because they had like some dude come on stage and do like a full concert damn near. And then they were just like, all right, thanks. We're not showing any gameplay while this guy's rocking out. They haven't said anything about like co-op though. And I thought that was kind of the aim of where they were going with that. But
if it has co-op, I would be more interested.
Yeah, Rage had co-op, right?
Single player, not that I know of.
Oh, okay. So. I thought we may have played part of that for some reason together, but I can't even remember now.
No, I played that one by myself, and I, a few hours into it, I hit a point that was just like, you died. You lost an hour of progress in this dungeon. I was like, I don't think I need to play this game anymore.
Fair enough. I mean, and yeah, later on they of course followed with like Doom Eternal, and that that seemed way more up my alley than anything else they showed, honestly. Yes. So
it's on Earth, hell on Earth, more than double the demons, more powers, all this stuff. Oh my god!
Nick Gordon's back for the soundtrack. Game of the year.
Are they following the old Doom format, by the way? Like Doom 1 was... I don't remember anything about the old Doom, so... was Doom 1 on Earth, or was it on Mars?
Doom 1 was on Mars.
It was on Doom Phobos, 2. I think. It was like the moons of Mars.
Okay. Yeah. And so Doom 2 was on Earth? Kind of like this one?
But also, I believe this one is supposed to acknowledge, like, some of the old Doom.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, the Doom guy in here has a history with Hell. Like he's the guy who is supposed to deal with hell.
Yeah. Do they call him the Doombringer, or is that something from something else?
Doomslayer.
Doomslayer.
There we go. I was trying to remember. Yeah.
He actually has a title now.
and hell, like has lore about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Just
best
scattered
part of
throughout,
That was
which is
awesome.
great.
That was
hearing
really cool.
Their stories about the Doomslayer
About how
who
he
comes in and kills all the
destroyed
demons.
everybody.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, Doom Eternal. I'm hyped as hell about
Yeah,
that one. That one looks.
I'm ready. I'm
Mhm.
ready.
Is that coming out this year or is that?
No, I would assume not because they didn't put a date on it.
God dang,
They didn't have
guys.
any gameplay. They said they were going to talk about it more at QuakeCon.
Yeah, that's what they did. Those sons of bitches. I should have known.
Yeah.
And I guess QuakeCon, they're getting a little bit bigger, I guess, again, because they have like Quake Champions, and that guy was talking Quake Champions. I didn't care for it at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt
He's
bad
just
for
a
that
bro.
because he had to go up and talk about a dead game that nobody cares about.
And get people excited. It's free right now. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be
boy.
free when you listen to this, guys, but it is free at the time of this recording. And I almost picked it up, and I was like, I don't care enough to even
No,
go in there. I think I own it
not-
already. I haven't even played
I've
it.
tried playing
Yeah, it was in a
not-
humble bundle.
Mhm. I thought so.
If you enjoyed the heck out of like Quake 3 Arena,
Mhm.
then you'll probably enjoy Quake Champions. But
Well,
I
it's-
never was into that kind of shooter.
Shooter. Mm.
It's did you enjoy Quake 3 and also do you like Overwatch?
Because it just combines them, I guess.
Sort
It's
of,
because
but
it's a little bit of class-based shooter with a little bit of Quake 3.
there's not much to the classes though. It's
Not
like
a
you
whole
have a
lot,
special
but-
ability and that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, and it's enough that because I did play a lot of Quake 3. I love Quake 3 Arena, but the class abilities is enough to throw off the feel of Quake 3, so it just doesn't feel quite right. So it's
Well, you should play as BJ Blazkowicz because he's in there.
He doesn't
and
have
his
anything.
special ability is he can dual wield for like a set amount of time. Anything. So you can be like dual wield rocket launchers, bitches.
yeah, I mean that's cool, but that's not what I want out of Quake.
Oh, it's what
I
you want.
I want Quake 3.
Yeah. I don't even think is there even a mode to play similar to Quake 3 yet?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so.
I think that may be what they need to do is like bring back a traditional type of Quake, so people have that playlist, and then they have Quake Champions too. Because I thought it was
Well,
just bring back Quake period, and they weren't going to do anything special. But yeah,
Are they still doing Quake Live?
I doubt it.
No. I think that ended.
Yeah.
That was like playable in the browser at some point.
Yeah,
I
that was
think
cool.
the last I heard
I remember
about it.
trying it, but I don't remember ever playing it for real. So
Yeah. Turns out I suck at Quake now, so I tried it. It didn't go so great, so I gave up.
they did reveal a new Wolfenstein Youngblood game.
Yes,
That was pretty
yes.
cool.
Yes!
I have not played through the first one. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That
you
looks pretty
play
cool.
as BJ's twin daughters, and it's co-op,
Just-
and it's in the 80s in pairs.
Yeah.
Now, does that remove the whole lore of him being Commander Keen's dad? Is that how it went, or was that?
It's oh god.
He's
how
supposed
does
to be
that
like
work,
Doom
though?
Guy's great
Oh,
grandfather.
okay.
Or
So
something
these
like
guys can
that.
still be in
Well,
there.
and then
Okay.
and then Doom Guy is like the great grand uncle or
Okay.
There is some like lineage
Commander Keen.
Yeah.
that supposedly this throws off, but I mean he could just have another kid, right?
Exactly. The secret kid somewhere. Yeah, that was
I'm
the first
excited
thing I
for it.
thought of. What was that?
I'm really excited for Youngblood.
I am too.
That looks pretty
I'm
cool. Yeah.
super stoked.
And they didn't say much about Wolfenstein 3 other than that this isn't Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah, that was basically all I got to. I was like, okay, I guess that's a new side game.
As long as I know they're working on it,
I didn't realize this wasn't Wolfenstein 3.
Nope.
no, this is going to be more like a kind of like the spin-off that Old Blood was.
Oh, I'm not excited anymore then.
Old Blood was
Damn. Old
It's
Blood
just short.
sucks. I did not like it at all.
This will be good. Come
No,
on.
the
BJ's
drop
twin
in
daughters.
quality in Old Blood was really upsetting. Like
Hmm.
I was very upset with that expansion. That had me worried for Wolfenstein 2.
Oh,
But
well,
thank God Wolfenstein 2 was like stupidly good.
yeah.
Okay, well now I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not
It's
hyped
co-op.
on it, but
It's co-op. So,
it's co-op. So yeah,
like they're going with
I'll
all this
get it. I'll
stuff.
play it with you, but I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm
I
not,
know- I know
I'm
you
not
will.
super hyped anymore.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we'll get a third entry and have those nice inner monologues with BJ again, because I was
Yeah.
gonna miss out on those.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now you have a inner monologue with the twin. Are they twins or are they just girls?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're twins.
Okay, that's gonna be weird. I guess that's one way to get around the whole "you look like me" in co-op thing. So
Yeah.
just make them look the same. Screw it. So they did do some other kind of pretty cool reveals, like Elder Scrolls Blades or something. I'm not gonna talk about. It's a mobile game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
mobile
like
Elder-
it works. Good job. I don't know.
It looks good for a mobile game.
yeah.
But also,
It's a mobile game.
It is a mobile game. It's not that involved.
Yeah.
It's free.
And yeah, it's free.
The thing they did before that was the Skyrim. How many were we gonna do on that? And they had Keegan on there, that little trailer, and that was
Michael Keegan.
Awesome. That was very cool.
That was real funny. I liked that they knew all the jokes that were going to be thrown at them
beforehand.
Todd Howard did such a good job in this presentation.
He did great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He was charming. He swore. Like
he did.
There was something about Todd Howard going, "This map glows in the fucking dark."
Yeah.
Because like, oh, it comes with a map. Like, cool. Who gives a shit? Yeah. And then he goes, and it glows in the fucking dark, and it's like, oh shit, what?
All right, you got my attention now.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't too sure about that press conference, but Bethesda does like really good E3 press conferences. Like even last year was really good. The year before was extremely good, and they seem to have like a good grasp on what we care about and what we don't care about, and then just kind of joke along with it and understand their audience. So they're actually my pick for probably the best E3 conference. I said earlier, because they rocked it overall, except for the beginning, which I don't know why the hell they had that guy rock out for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was a bad choice,
but they did reveal Elder Scrolls 6, which I was excited about for that 5-second.
It exists
thing.
Technically,
yeah.
And then
it's
Starfield,
in pre-production,
pre-production and design.
Now, Starfield, they could definitely take over a Mass Effect's window if they do that well, which I'm sure they will.
Man, so what I'm hoping is Fallout was Skyrim in a post-apocalyptic America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this is Skyrim in space, and that you got laser guns and laser swords and other stuff like that, and instead of horses, you got spaceships, and that could be great. I mean, of course, it would have its own stuff to it, and its own atmosphere, but I really hope that it goes off of that same kind of feel as Fallout and Skyrim, because God, it works well.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's kind of what I'm hoping too. Like, even if they don't get the co-op in, just because they're not ready for it in that game, like I play the crap out of a spacefaring game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally announced it, because we've known it exists
forever.
Since last year's E3 when they were supposedly supposed to show it and then didn't. Who knows? But
so I'm predicting Starfield may be out next year, like towards the end of the year. But Elder Scrolls 6, I don't think that's coming out until at least 2 years after Starfield.
2 years.
I would
damn.
I would put Starfield later than that. I think Starfield's closer to a 2020 release.
It could be. I would say like late next year at the earliest.
I think they're going to do like the November slot. Like that'll be their big holiday game, I would say. I'm with Austin on that. They seem to... Go ahead.
I don't see Elder Scrolls 6 coming for...
Oh, no.
Until like 20... If I had to guess an actual date, I would say like 2024.
That's pretty damn far.
I think it's way further away than people think it is.
I think
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot further than people think it is, but people think that it's coming like next year or 2020.
Yeah, I mean those people are crazy, but
what's they're probably not going to actually sit down and work on any real code for it until towards the end of Starfield's production, Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because they've been growing a lot, and I think they've been recruiting like throughout the years. They're not usually the people on blast when they start recruiting, but they usually go, "Oh, we're recruiting for," and then suddenly their team's like enormous again. So,
right. So Bethesda is doing that, right?
Exactly.
But then you have this subset of Bethesda, the Todd Howard section.
Oh,
and Todd Howard is going to be he's working on Starfield, and he's definitely going to be doing Elder Scrolls 6.
That's a good point. I forgot that Todd's team is kind of just we make the good ones. Or we make the RPGs. Yeah. I feel like Starfield will be out next year just because of how long it's been working on it. He did mention we've been on and off on this since I started 15 years ago. So I bet they have like some assets done. They have at least a playable something ready, and they're pretty secretive about their stuff. Like, I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's because they're so close-knit and they probably watch each other a lot. But they don't have many leaks about this kind of stuff. Like, Starfield didn't even leak. They just said, well, I have this game Starfield we've been working on. That's probably going to come before Elder Scrolls 6. Like, he said that in an interview. So, I mean... they can't get more concrete than that shit. I feel like that will definitely be out next year. If they're not working on Elder Scrolls 6 yet, I feel like that's a mistake, because there's a lot. And I guess that's really it. If they haven't been working on it, they may need, like maybe another 5 years, damn near, because
I'm thinking it's bare
there's a
minimum
lot
5
of
years.
expectations on that game, and it has to be bigger than everything else before it, including Starfield, including Fallout 76, and that's a lot of pressure for one game to have. Like, people expect Elder Scrolls to be the big boy. Speaking of which, Fallout 76, I'm extremely excited about.
I'm surprised it actually looks good.
Yeah, I was going into this. I was not at all after the rumors of it being a Rust-like survival game, online co-op. I was like, man, this sounds like a piece of garbage, and I have no interest in this whatsoever. And then after that,
Todd Howard was just like, I bet you have a million questions. Let me go right through them.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me just tell you everything.
All the concerns just disappeared.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm kind of excited. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I'm definitely pumped. Like a lot of the I guess the entry point problems with Fallout is, I'm going into this huge ass world by myself, and they do it every time. Like, no matter what Fallout you played, after 3 rather, you start the game, you go out to the vault, you look around, and you look at your map, you're like, what the fuck? You're just kind of screwed there. But like with just other players with you, I think that helps a lot. Even though they did expand the map by 4 times because you have 4 people, which is a whole other thing. It still is more comforting to know, okay, well, I can go into this big ass world, and I can bring a friend, and then we can go adventure, and we have like someone to help guide me through this wasteland, and not just be like, well, where do I go next? It's more like, hey, let's go do this thing. Okay, let's go do that. Oh, actually, let's go do this thing. And then it's more crazy, because Fallout is really fun. I've gotten into Fallout 4, and I'm hyped as hell about that. Like, that game's great, but there's still that overwhelming feeling, which I think if I played with like anyone else, it'd go away a bit and be more, fun to play through, I guess is the best way to put it.
more fun, less overwhelming. Yeah,
exactly, and let's worry about that.
I love that they put nukes all over the map.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to do a ton to be able to use them. Oh, what a great idea.
Yeah,
completely agree. Yeah.
And some dude's pissing you off. He's got the super base that's just like, what the hell? Like, I can't do anything about this. Oh, let me nuke it. I'll just nuke it.
Just nuke it, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's the answer to all the problems we didn't know we needed.
And it's just like, for a multiplayer game where there's not a ton of people on the map, that's manageable, where it's like, it's not going to happen all the time, but it'll happen, and it adds a lot of good unpredictability to it.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's a really
great idea.
Yeah, that was a really good showing. I'm really excited for 76.
What do you guys think overall for Bethesda? Any other thoughts of things that happened at the conference you want to cover?
Oh yeah, they did that Prey DLC, but who cares?
The multiplayer looks fun. The multiplayer mode that they're adding, where it's like the 4v1.
Okay, yeah, that's the one thing about that could be interesting.
Except it already exists on Steam.
It's prop hunt.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of the
but it's cool to have that in there as well. It's because like this is a very polished experience, and that's really fitting for it. It's like, if aliens can take on the shape of anything, that's a perfect fit for prop hunt, right? Or you can choose what you want to look like. That makes it a little more unpredictable, rather than just like, here's the thing that you get to be,
and you get to kill the people if they find you, or you find them first, or something like that, or it's not like you can scare the crap out of them. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so usually prop hunt, it's like you're looking for the people who are props, and they're kind of trying to hide from you. But here it may be more of them like trying to hunt you, or I don't know.
Yeah, which would be really cool, like trying to get them to pick you up if you're like ammo or something on the ground. That'd be funny.
Yeah. I had forgotten about that one mode. Yeah, that could be interesting. But
yeah, definitely the Prey DLC. I didn't even think about that. I do like the moon idea, I guess, if it's always random, like every time. But yeah, I didn't play Prey though. That's my problem. So I need to play the new Prey. That's hard to say. And then maybe I'll be more interested after I actually play it. But I'm waiting for it to go on sale, in all honesty.
Yeah.
All right, so now that Bethesda's done, let's go into Devolver Digital, which I heard is more of like an press conference. I did not watch it though. What happened?
So they pulled from lore from the previous conference that they did last year, anti-conference. There's a lot of jokes and killing on stage, and oh my god, loot
Scanners,
box
body
coin.
explosions, and
It was the loot box cryptocurrency.
oh yeah, what's that up to now?
It doesn't have an actual. It has no known value. It's so
What?
secure. The value is unknown to anyone who even holds it.
Yeah.
And every hour on the hour, they sell this actual coin on their website. The value just changes at random.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
And it almost always sells out instantly.
That's
People are buying the
insane.
shit out of this Bitcoin. Or
It's-
sorry, not Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency. with
It's
no-
not even a cryptocurrency. It's just like a physical coin, I believe, that you
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
and it's real. Oh, and they had the guy who lost his arm throwing money into his screen last year, and he like gunned down the host. And then they did this. It was like this big RoboCop reference, and
It's great.
oh my god! But they actually showed off some games too.
And then they showed off some really good games.
The only one that I remember out of it, because like most of it was just like, what the hell is happening? My friend Pablo
Pedro.
looks.
Pedro. Mhm.
Sorry, my friend Pedro
Mhm.
looks incredible.
It looks
That
really
game
silly.
looks amazing. Oh my god.
I can't wait to play that game. It
Ballet
looks-
Max Payne. Yes, I'm into it.
and like, okay, so you've got a 2.5D side-scrolling game going slow motion, in and out, and set to classical music, and you're going, okay, you're talking about Trials that they showed off at Ubisoft, right? Except that trailer was boring, and this one looked incredible. Oh my god!
Just style
looks so
out the
good.
ass.
You're just shooting all over the place, riding skateboards into people's heads. You're shooting a frying pan, ricocheting into two other people's. Oh my god!
Damn,
She's
that
doing
sounds
pirouettes
awesome.
through the air and swinging in through windows. And, yeah. Oh my god. That game, as long as that game controls well, that could be amazing. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's
They
cool.
describe it as something you probably saw in some GIFs online, and then someone in the audience interrupts the host. It's like, it's GIFs, and he has this whole thing about
What?
why it's GIFs and how the creator said it was GIFs, and then I forget what happens. I think
He
does
explodes.
she blow him up?
Yeah, he explodes. And she gets coated in his blood. And yeah.
That's awesome. So was it like I guess I'm trying to imagine it because there's probably gonna be footage here, but just like from my view where I'm not able to see it right now, was it real people or was it just like
No, this was totally scripted.
okay well
Yeah.
well
Yeah,
scripted
their
is
whole
in
thing
like
not like
The audience, it was a fake audience, and like
Mhm.
the whole time they're just like stuffing their faces with food, so it's kind of like a consumerism jab or something like
that's
that.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
the whole thing has a very Adult Swim kind of vibe to it.
It's really funny that they paid for that like time to go.
I don't think they did.
I
Oh,
think
I
they
think
just
that's
streamed
just
it.
like that's just
Oh.
a stream.
Yeah.
So
That's
because
pretty
I
smart.
don't think they've
Nice.
ever paid to be at E3.
hmm
I don't
Because they
think
tried to
so.
do something like outside of E3 one time. I may be
Mhm.
thinking of another company, but I'm pretty sure it was Devolver. And
That
like
sounds like them, yeah.
E3 the ESA ended up like taking over that space for like parking or like truck parking or something like that,
hmm
so that they couldn't use it. It's this really weird relationship there.
Dang, that's awesome. I'll probably have to go watch it after this because that sounds really funny, and I do like Devolver Digital. Like almost every one of their games, as weird as it sounds, like they've been pretty good lately. So I don't know how they source their games or how they decide what to publish.
They've
man.
got something special going on there, man.
They've been kicking
Yeah,
ass. I mean,
there's something. Yeah, there's something
Mhm.
over in the water at Devolver Digital.
it's called Good Juice. It's good as
It's
hell.
called Metal Wolf Chaos XT.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
What?
Richard!
They go, oh, so everyone's doing a classic game console, where a little mini console that you can play all their old games on. So here's the Devolver Classic Edition, and it's a Dreamcast.
What?
The guy that they have paid to pretend that he's playing their games on stage
Yeah.
goes, no, that's a Dreamcast. All it has is this CD of Metal Wolf Rising, which that's Japanese game. It's not even on Dreamcast. That's
what
not.
the heck?
And then at the very end, they're just like, oh, by the way, this game from FromSoft where you're battling mechs in the White House, we're
As the President
localizing
of the
it.
United States.
What?
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
awesome.
If you've never seen anything a Medal
Never
of
seen
Chaos,
that.
it's incredible. It's the most Japanese American game ever made.
Okay, I definitely have to
Or
check
the
that
most
out, too.
Japanese game out of America ever made.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're the president of the United States. You're the vice president's trying to take over, so you got to hop in your mech suit that you keep in the White House
Mm-hmm,
and
of course.
fight the vice president.
Makes total
It's amazing.
sense.
It's got all the kind of worst voice acting you could want. It's amazing, and I'm so
They-
glad.
Yes.
I am disappointed that I missed that somehow. I should have watched that live.
And
Dang.
it ends with the hashtag Mech America Great Again.
Make America great again. It's so perfect.
Devolver Digital gives no fucks, and it's the best.
So closing thoughts then on that Devolver Digital amazement that I missed.
I didn't
great.
get much in terms of games, but what I got was beautiful,
Yeah,
and the
It's
rest
exactly
of it
what
was
you want.
absolutely entertaining.
Wow.
Yeah, it's exactly what you expect and what you want out of a Devolver Digital press conference, which is just pure insanity plus a game or two.
Damn. We're just going to dive right into Square Enix's press conference, which really doesn't have much. So, a lot of their games.
Why did Square Enix have a
Because they felt like they had to, I guess.
Because they're
It's
a big
tradition.
publisher. Yeah.
except what they
Are they?
almost
Are they?
everything that
they were a
showed
huge
off.
publisher. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Sure.
We had Shadow of the Tomb Raider got
Mhm.
shown off at Microsoft.
Look-
Dragon Quest XI, that was something new. Okay.
Mm.
Babylon's Fall, their platinum game, that was something new.
Mhm,
Fine, whatever.
mhm.
And then you have Kingdom Hearts 3 shown off at Microsoft, Just Cause 4 shown off at Microsoft, and The Quiet Man, which was the worst trailer of the entire conference.
Yeah.
They could have shown off Babylon's Fall and Dragon Quest XI at someone else's conference and been totally fine.
Well, and especially with because they showed off a bunch of stuff at Paris Games Week, which was not that long ago. They really
Yeah.
didn't need to have a press conference.
They just that was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, I'm not
Yeah.
into Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know if that part
I'm
of the
I'm
presentation
fine
was
with Kingdom
big,
Hearts,
but
but like they got
was alright.
shown at Microsoft and Sony,
yeah.
and just there was nothing new there.
There was a real big lack of Final Fantasy VII remake in this press conference, which I think
Yeah,
they could have shown something.
Well-
They've got to have some work done. I know it doesn't seem like it, but they've got to have something done.
A lot of the Japanese companies save stuff for TGS, which may be what they were doing, honestly, because it almost felt like that. Like they had game footage for some of their stuff, but they didn't mention like anything about Babylon, which I'm surprised by since that's like a brand new reveal.
hardly any information. I saw like a little bit of gameplay, but I don't really know when that game other than it's from
Yeah.
Platinum.
Yeah, and I mean, I expected like some Deus Ex stuff for like new DLC, something like that, but they didn't even have that.
Like literally anything would have been nice.
They didn't even mention them. And yeah, Square is a definitely like they're rising in publisher, I guess. Like they're getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. They don't have Hitman anymore, so maybe that's why they didn't have like a bunch more to show. Since Hitman 2's back with their parent company, I guess the original creators.
Yeah, it's back with IO Interactive now.
Yeah, so they didn't have that to show, and like Austin and both Austin and Chris have already touched on, like they did have all their stuff already shown. Kind of like why Capcom didn't have their own show, like all their stuff shown in other people's shows.
Activision doesn't have their own show.
Yeah,
Just,
if this
Yeah.
was all they had to show, they didn't need to have a press conference. Or they should have done what Nintendo did and just doubled down on Kingdom Hearts. 'Cause
To
that was
its
apparently
credit.
that and Tomb Raider were their big things.
To its credit, I was actually kind of interested in The Quiet Man, only because Sleeping Dogs exist, and I think that may be where they're going with that, which would be badass. So, I don't know
Yeah.
what.
If it is, man, that was still a really bad trailer. Like,
Agreed. I have no
really
clue what the
bad.
heck it is. It's
Yeah,
like
if
some.
that means more Sleeping Dogs, I'm excited. But yeah, as it stands, Jesus, no.
Yeah, they probably should have done a Sleeping Dogs too, actually, instead of Quiet Man. Maybe it'll turn into that later. They'll just be like, fuck it. But yeah, out of their conference, and we already kind of touched on every game they had. We didn't really talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and they did show like a bit more. It's definitely great, but they showed just about the
They
same
showed,
amount
like-
of stuff everywhere else. Yeah.
I think it was like 10 minutes of just like going around in the forest and killing people. It was like,
I mean, it looks
oh, I'm
pretty.
really showing this for a long time.
Yeah, that's usually a sign of them not having anything else. Like the game they have the most about, or they think it's going to be the best seller, is usually what they go with. And that was their Fallout 76, I guess.
Yeah.
Was Tomb
Yeah.
Raider. Yeah,
Rathalos is coming to Final Fantasy 14. That's kind of cool.
That was, and also Behemoth, which I learned later is going to Monster Hunter World, which is pretty
also very cool. Yeah,
yes,
that didn't get shown off for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, they had so much other stuff they needed to show that was more important.
Any thoughts on Square's? I mean, people are saying it's the worst. I kind of agree with that at the moment.
I agree.
Yeah,
that was. It was a waste of half an hour for me.
Yeah, they shouldn't have had a press conference. I'm glad it was only a half hour. I'm glad they didn't try to fill a whole hour. But yeah, they just not that what they showed was particularly terrible. But
it just got shown everywhere else.
Yeah, it was already shown everywhere else, and like I said, the only thing interesting there was Kingdom Hearts, and I don't care about Kingdom Hearts, so I didn't care about the conference.
Yeah, and that's a fair statement. I mean, I like Kingdom Hearts, but even I wasn't. After seeing it like 2 other times already by that point, I just didn't care anymore. I was like, okay, who are they going to show on this one? Okay.
I'm really surprised they didn't try to lock down some kind of exclusivity with Kingdom Hearts, considering that could have been the big thing of their show. That could have made their press conference.
That was supposed to be the big thing of their show. But the issue with that is actually after their conference, Sony went on and they showed a different trailer than Square showed. And I was like... So
Square showed the least of anybody.
Why?
Because Microsoft showed a bunch, and then like Square showed like the second half of what Microsoft showed.
And then Sony went off to show out the new thing.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my god!
It feels like they mismanaged that completely, and they've been getting better about like their development stuff, but apparently their marketing's gotten worse. So I don't know.
It feels like they were banking on something from Final Fantasy VII being able to be shown, and they realized that they weren't going to have that, and they didn't have anything to fill that space. That's what it felt like.
That's a good point, because it was odd that it was like 38 minutes almost exactly, and that usually means like they had an hour planned, they had like maybe 20 minutes of something else or something else planned where they were like, oh, I didn't make the show. That's it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that, or are we good with Square there?
No, I'm done with them.
Done with them? Damn. Okay.
I'm done. I'm done. Square, you hear me?
So Ubisoft went on, and their conferences are always pretty good. They start off with that big like panda dancing thing, and they got me hyped, man.
Their conference is always entertaining. It's always entertaining. It's dumb, it's goofy, and I love it.
Yeah.
They treat it like it's an entertaining live show, and that's kudos to them for that. But there were lots and lots of times where I was like, okay, we really need to move on.
They need to know how to get to them.
This has dragged on for a really long time, and you just keep doing it between every game. Damn, just show the games.
You don't like that guy crashing into the desk? I mean, that was the best part.
We nailed it.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know how you do shows so many years in a row.
All the mics.
And they don't have the same sound guy, and so somehow they left the mics on again. Multiple times. That guy got fired, by the way, guaranteed. He was out of there. You son of a bitch.
Speaking of that, Beyond Good and Evil 2, that's where they had the big mic flub. That looks really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was the pre-rendered stuff, which I was like, ah, shit, okay, well, but it looked really good. And then at the end, they were like, oh, by the way, Jade. And I was like, oh my god! And then they even showed off what little gameplay they had. They were like, "Here's some pre-alpha footage.
Cool,
here's some actual gameplay that's going." It was like, wow, this game's actually happening. Oh my gosh! I'm stoked for that.
What do you guys think compared to? Well, I mean, we can't even really compare that game to the original Beyond Good and Evil at this point. Like, it looks like a whole different beast.
Completely different atmosphere, totally different type of game.
Well, and it's because it's a massive open world. It's supposed to be a prequel to the first one.
No, it's a sequel.
Definitely a sequel.
Oh, it is
at this point. Okay. Yeah.
Because look at Jade. Jade's not going from that to what she was in the first game.
I didn't play Beyond Good and Evil. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it starts off with Jade kind of going on a journey.
She's like, I'm a photographer.
Yeah, that's literally all I know about it.
She has like a friend page.
She has a camera and she takes pictures.
Yeah, you don't go from being like an ultra samurai to I take pictures.
You could. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's like a redemption story in Beyond Good and Evil 1.
Okay, all right.
I'm done being a samurai. I got to take up this staff and travel the world taking pictures and forgetting everything that happened in Beyond Good and Evil 2. But yeah, another thing I like about Ubisoft, and they went very in detail with the Division 2, and people didn't like the first one. I liked it, but this looks a lot of the same, which may not be a bad thing. but may not be a good thing. It looks like a Destiny 2 situation.
It's gonna have raids. That sounds like it's interesting because I like raids. And I don't know how raids are gonna work in an interesting way in the Division.
Well, didn't the first Division had like mini raids? They were called incursions.
Yeah, and those were fine.
They were fine, but they weren't
special.
Like interesting.
Yeah,
it was like, here's a strong enemy, shoot him a long time,
60 billion times. Yeah, it wasn't great. The one thing they are doing in this one is they're doing like specialties, I guess, when you hit max level this time. So you get like a specialty weapon. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I guess
they're interesting.
Yeah, and it could be good, could be bad. I'm curious if they're going to go the route of Destiny 2 and just say, restart your progress, or if they're going to give something to make it worth. Did Destiny 2, before I even say that, did Destiny 2 offer things for people that hit max level in Destiny?
If you had played Destiny 1 on the same system, then you got something, but it wasn't like progress.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it was because I played on
yeah.
PC and Destiny 1 wasn't on PC.
That makes
I
sense.
don't remember anyone ever saying like, "Oh, it was this thing and it was really cool."
Yeah, and it's really weird because I mean, like they should have a way to just say, okay, well, he has to save, some information on the server. Let's give him something. I mean, .hack did that back in the day, where it just kept continuing. Like it eventually had to reset because the levels got ridiculous. But like, if they could do it back in PS2 days, they can at least think of a good method to make you not have to just restart the game, or completely feel like you got fucked by buying it and investing like
But
.hack
was
hours.
Planned to be like that was planned to be a multi-game series. It used the same engine, same mechanic. This completely changed the engine, completely changed the mechanics of how guns and levels and light works, and just.
Oh no, I was referencing Destiny 2, like not Destiny 2, Division 2. My mistake. So more like I feel like the Division 2, since they're similar, like they kind of have the same.
Okay, I see.
Unless they change something underneath that we can't see, like they have to have made a major, like significant change for me to think that's not the same game, but cleaner in DC, because that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like they made huge improvements even on the graphics. They just went, we're in DC, it's a Civil War, we got raids, and that was it.
I'll probably end up playing it if I've got a bunch of friends playing it, but I'm not stoked for it.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how they improve on the Division, because I think all they need to do is it just needs to be a better version of the Division with a different story.
But yeah, Division 2 was fine. What surprised me was they called Assassin's Creed an RPG, and they were like, no, it's an RPG. And I was like, that's not true.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess now based off of
you actually level up.
Exactly. And it's so weird to see, like, when the first one came out, I worked at GameStop, so I had a problem with it because my boss had a problem. But now that I've like seen people play it, it looks like it's a pretty good stealth action game. It was not an RPG.
I was with you at GameStop at that point, and Troy literally sold that shit to everybody. He was like selling consoles based on that, and we had some guy try to return his system because he was sold the system based on the fact of Assassin's Creed, which the guy was just like, "This is Troy. This is going to be the best game of this year." And he wouldn't let him return it because he was just like, well, I'm sorry, but I can't return the system. I'll take the game back, but you got to keep the system. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, and now it's so weird to see like if Metal Gear Solid just suddenly was like, oh, we're an RPG now, like that would have been a shock to my system because I'm so in love with Metal Gear Solid and the stealth aspect, but did you see any real sneaking in that trailer for Greece? Like, was there any stealth action that you can remember? Like anyone?
I
don't remember seeing stealth, but what I did see was when they were showing the game off, the first thing they showed off was a follow mission, which those are the worst missions in every game.
Here's the part of Assassin's Creed that nobody likes.
Everyone hates.
Why are they showing this first?
Yeah.
Because like bits and pieces from what they were showing, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then they were like, okay, let's show some actual just straight up gameplay. And I was like, oh, it is definitely Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, kind of. It's I don't know. It's kind of a weird direction, and I'm surprised they took it because they had such a like nice stealth game, action game, but now I guess stealth is dead. So what I'm hearing there, because
the stealth was pretty optional to begin with, though.
Was it? I felt like you would get murdered if you tried to like just
you could fight anyone easily.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of shitty then.
In the first one, the combat kind of sucked, so stealth
No.
was a better option. But
Okay.
yeah,
It was annoying, but it was really easy to fight people. Because
Yeah.
literally all you have to do is just keep mashing the button to swing at people unless
Uh-huh.
you hit like a really strong enemy. And then all you have to do is just counter.
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess in that case, maybe I'm misremembering Assassin's Creed, and it never was like completely a stealth game, which is sad. I mean, I like the idea of Assassin's Creed now I know more about it, but yeah, it was very shocking for me to hear them say, "Well, this RPG," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's an RPG now. I have a new RPG to look after." So, but yeah. So overall, I think the Greece setting was pretty cool. I know why they went there because of the last game, of course, and I don't know, looks fine. I don't like the big battle stuff. That looked pretty janky when they show like the big battles against everybody. It looked kind of shitty in my
Yeah.
opinion, but that may just be like still early access stuff.
I like that you can play as a man or a woman.
That's cool.
And
Yeah,
apparently you can romance anyone that you want to.
they showed
Which-
a dialogue option in that trailer.
Yeah,
Like-
so they're actually like kind of trying to embrace the other parts of RPGs other than just you have level ups that they had in the previous game.
yeah,
So
which is good.
They're kind of laying into that.
Yeah, I'm really curious how it turns out because they were, I guess, developing it alongside Origins since it's a different team. It's just like, I've been working on this for 3 years, and I was like, wait a second. It's been another game since then, so
I think they might use the same engine. but
definitely they do.
Yeah, they have to spend a bunch of time crafting the land and the story and figuring out all the historical characters and everything like that.
Yeah. So it'll be pretty cool, and they did a lot of interesting things with Origins, like they did the museum mode and all that. So
Yeah.
if they keep going that direction with Assassin's Creed, it could become like a really interesting series. I'm just still surprised now I have to write down RPG for a genre if I write down Assassin's Creed and no longer like stealth action game. It's going to be
Yeah.
RPG. Star Fox being in Starlink?
Starlink.
Is that the name of the game?
Yeah,
That-
the Toys to Life game. That
So I
couldn't
was-
find out.
I was not going. I was like, okay, it's a Toys to Life game. I'm not going to play. And then they showed Star Fox, and I was like, okay,
Yep.
well, I might play this. And because if Star Fox in it, I only want to play Star Fox, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I won't get any of the other toys. I'll just get Star Fox. And
I'll buy the
that'll be it.
R-Wing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll buy the R-Wing, but I'm not going to buy the game.
Because it actually looks like a Star Fox game rather than Skylander. Oh, Skylanders has DK and Bowser in it. It's like, but they're just like they're basically other Skylanders in this.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. It doesn't feel anything like they're kind of.
It does have the
it
charge
looks like a
shot.
better
It had the
Star
barrel
Fox
roll.
than Star Fox Zero. So
Yeah.
I'll give that a shot.
I'll probably look at it. It depends how much the toys are, honestly, because anytime I spend something, I want to make sure I'm going to use it a lot. So I don't know. It does come with like a base toy thing, right? Like a regular Starfighter.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
Switch
I would hope,
version
yeah.
comes with like I think the R-Wing and a Fox figure. And I think that's
Ooh,
like
okay.
for the game and all that. I think it's like 75.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I expect to pay with like the Games to Life or whatever the heck it's called,
Yeah,
Toys to Life
yeah.
thing. So okay, that's fair enough. I've ever bought one of those, but
Yeah.
let me think. What else is in that? Like the Crew 2 stuff like that. I wasn't really interested in anything
Yeah.
else.
They
Mhm.
they didn't show off Mario Kingdom or Mario Rabbids Kingdom Donkey Kong Adventure.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, here's the thing, we're gonna have the band play and not show footage of the game. It's
That
gonna
was
be in the
weird.
background. I was like, what is happening?
I think
But
they
the DLC
forgot to
looks
cut
good.
it. What was that?
That DLC does look good.
It
though.
does look
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I wish they
Hell
had
yeah.
shown it off a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the weird relationship between Ubisoft and Nintendo.
Yeah,
They're
me
best
too.
Like
friends,
this-
man.
This weird little flirty kind of, hey, we're best friends now, and yeah,
Yeah. like-
having Miyamoto come out.
we
and
we
give
gonna
him the
fuck?
R-Wing.
No, we not gonna fuck. No.
That was what
we
I-
might.
That's what I wrote
No,
down.
we're not
in
gonna
my-
fight.
That's what I wrote down in my notes for Starlink. I said I wish Nintendo and Ubisoft would just kiss already.
yeah, Nintendo just needs to buy them. That way we get all the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, any closing thoughts on their conference as a whole?
I'm still interested in Transference.
Oh yeah, what the heck is that game? Like
That Elisha
It's
Wood.
supposed to be like a mind invasion kind of game.
Yeah.
it's VR.
It was going to be VR only, and then they just recently said it's no longer only VR.
Oh okay,
Oh, okay.
okay, cool. I'll
But
play
yeah,
it then.
everybody's hating on that game, especially showing at this year's E3 because I guess they didn't show off a whole lot. But I don't know. I'm still interested to see what Elisha Wood horror game thing is.
Hell yeah.
It looks interesting.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I forgot it even existed, honestly, though, so maybe I'm not that excited for it.
They didn't show too much of it.
Yeah.
I think
They showed about as I think they showed less than they showed last year.
Yeah, but they
I
actually
think so.
had some gameplay in this trailer, supposedly. But
They had some 3D stuff. I don't know if it was gameplay.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's true.
That's true. So I guess we don't have any more thoughts on that one, so we're going to dive into another of the big three, Sony, which was the second to last conference. I'm going to start because they had some weird shit at the beginning. I don't know what
Yes,
the
they
heck
did.
they were talking about or what they were doing, but
It was like the Church of Sony, and then they really laid that. It's like, no, you don't need to go to church on Sunday because this fulfills your obligation. And
Yeah.
I think he may have been a little drunk because he was saying some stuff up there, and I was like, man, y'all gonna get in trouble. But I guess they were setting the stage for like Last of Us 2 and all that, but it was very surprising that he came out and started saying that, I guess. Yeah, once they started showing it, and I guess their conference is one that I thought was actually pretty bad, but not for the reveal reason, just for like how they had it set up, because they had him come on, he did his thing, and then they went to like some panel, and then they went from the panel to like a trailer with like some weird music guys interfering. I don't know what they were
there
thinking.
was a guy playing the guitar for a while,
Mhm.
and then it's like, all right, Last of Us 2, which of course everyone knows that's going to be good, and
Mhm.
that's cool. But they laid into it just like Sony did with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, just like, let's
Mhm.
show this for a really long time. A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you happen to catch any of that, Chris? Like some of the that church part, or?
Yeah, it was just bizarre.
Mhm.
I was like, the whole time I'm watching it, I don't get what they're trying to do. Like you said, all this is going to do is piss a lot of people off, and it's not accomplishing anything. It's just-
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of Sony's press conference that was just kind of like, this is kind of a waste of time.
was
Can we
weird.
just-
And a lot of it was confusing. It was like,
Mhm.
what's going on? Like, is this part of the press conference? Is this a pre-show? Like,
Like,
it's
is this entire press conference a trailer for Death Stranding? Because I'm really
That's actually true. I didn't even think about that. God dang. But speaking of The Last of Us 2, I mean, it looked all right. It looked like there were some better animations. I'm
Dude,
not.
a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw Donkey's video
did,
today.
I
He
did.
was like looking at it really close up. I have to agree with him. Where it was just like these very fluid, very responsive, just like
Yeah.
specific animations. It's like, ooh, it's probably not going to look like that when we actually play it.
yeah.
And Naughty Dog's kind of sneaky on their trailers because they'll show gameplay like that, but then when you actually play it, it's like hit X now, and then you like
yeah.
dodge into the car or whatever. So they clean up their videos really well for those presentations, but kind of like Uncharted, a lot of those really cool moments are you action buttoning everything you need to do. So I imagine if it does look like that, there's a lot of QTE stuff hidden that they didn't show there. I'm not going to completely count them out because maybe they designed it from PS4 Pro, like from ground up or something, and maybe it does look that great, but that's a
I doubt
high.
it. But I still think it'll be a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it'll be
I mean,
good.
it's
Probably
Naughty
not.
Dog, it's Last-
That's some E3 trickery
I think
that
so.
we get.
That
every
seems like
year.
a really big jump, though, like from
Yeah.
the Uncharted game to that, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
But after that, they had a lot of things. I guess the big one for me was they had a lot of reveals. I guess like Resident Evil 2, of course.
did. Yeah.
Yes, finally.
Which
What they showed of Resident Evil 2 did not look.
looked
It looked
dope.
weird. And then, like very shortly after the conference, another trailer went up, and it looked way better. And it was like, why did they show this one? There was something weird about Leon's face, and just a
Mhm.
lot of the gameplay looked really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Austin and I talked about it a little bit. I'm convinced, like, maybe they had some trailer that didn't have the final touches on it, because Capcom's trailer had a lot of really great shadows, like, everything looked correct, and, like, Leon looked better. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if they maybe made a trailer first, and they were like, oh, we're going to screw Sony, and then they released their actual trailer afterwards, so everyone knew, like, they weren't just making a pile of crap, because it could have just been the way they streamed it, maybe what they were
Knowing
getting it
Capcom,
from.
they probably weren't done with the trailer by the time Sony asked for it, because Capcom doesn't be able to get their shit together about Resident Evil, especially about RE2 remake.
That's true, but I'm very excited after seeing the new
Yeah.
trailer. The new trailer, not the one in Sony's thing, but that was definitely a weird. I like the idea of the trailer. You're like a little rat running around, and then like it I did not know it was Resident Evil till that happened. I was like, ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to go back to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I haven't played it in years now. So yeah, I'm definitely
And it's
excited for that.
very dated at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
And
if
yeah,
you've
that's
played
the
it,
thing that
yeah,
makes
it's good,
it
but
come back.
like, damn, it's hard to play as somebody who hasn't played it before.
That's true. What do you think about the change from basically like the tank controls to third person? Do you think that's going to be a good fit, or just kind of make the game too actiony?
If they tried to put out a Resident Evil game today with tank controls, I don't think you'd get the hardcores that would love it, but they would play literally anything that was Resident Evil 2.
Because the regular controls worked for RE7, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense, actually.
I think a lot of the encounters are probably going to be reworked to where they're going to be faster paced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're still going to be struggling with like ammo
Mm-hmm.
and health items and things like that. But rather than making the difficulty, where am I looking? What am I doing? How do I get out of this room before I get licked by the liquor? I think it'll be more of that's. I wonder if the atmosphere is going to change too much with that, though.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
They're going to have to do a lot of work to. I mean, they've been very specific, at least lately, that this is not a remaster; it's a remake. So yeah, they're going to have to rebalance the feel of the game. They're going to have to rebalance the encounters, and they'll have to strike a good balance between recapturing that old feel, but also making it still a good game now that it's using these behind the third-person camera controls and everything.
And a modern game.
I think they did already kind of capture part of that. Like, people always forget this exists, but like the Resident Evil Revelation series, they did a pretty good job of making that still not scary, but definitely like heart pounding at points. Especially RE2. There's a point where like you're running through Resident Evil Revelations 2. There's a part where basically you're running through like a forest and all you have is a flashlight. And even like two-player. It's really messed up because there's all kinds of bullshit monsters out there, not even like the regular ones. And
or
it's
when
really,
you get to the part where like there's invisible monsters that only one of your players can see, but that's the player that can't shoot. It's like, oh my god, this is really stressful.
Do you guys have anything else from Sony? I can't remember everything they showed. Sadly.
Ghost of Tsushima. I've heard a lot of people get very excited about.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
I'm not. So it's not something that's been done before, but it feels like something that's been done before, like a by the numbers kind of game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is a game that's going to score well on Metacritic. It's going to sell very well, and you know what I mean? Did you get that feel at all?
Yeah.
I can definitely see. You can, as you're watching the trailer, you can kind of see, oh, they're pulling this element from this game. They're pulling this from this.
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess, paint by numbers kind of game.
I think it's gonna do well. I'm sure it'll be good. It just didn't feel like it had its own feel or personality to it.
Well, it didn't help that we had like 5 other samurai games.
Especially with
that.
So we had this. We had Nioh 2. We had the Shadows Never Die.
The problem for me was the animations in, and maybe it was just a comparison thing because I'd watched like Nioh 2, and I know what Nioh looks like, and I also know what Sekiro looks like. But it looked like very stilted, like very choppy, I guess.
Yes. I noticed that because I think it was actual gameplay. It looked like somebody actually playing the game rather than a in-engine footage kind of thing. It looked like somebody was actually playing that game. So
and maybe it's just...
I definitely noticed the stiffness and the like snapping into place with the animation.
Mm-hmm. And that could be sorted out, as they can near gold, wherever that. Because it's not releasing until like 2019, I think, too. So it could have even been like alpha like footage and stuff. They're just getting together and the animations will smooth out. But other stuff from Sucker Punch Mixdown, I think, like other stuff from them is usually really high animated, or at least decently animated, because Infamous wasn't the best, but it was better than that. So I think by comparison though, I'm not as excited for that as I am like Sekiro or Nioh 2, even though I haven't even played Nioh 1. I'm more excited for those than that specific game there.
So speaking of Sucker Punch and Infamous, immediately after that trailer, so at the end of that trailer they showed Sucker Punch, which I thought was the beginning of the next trailer, which was for Control. And so the entire time I was watching the Control trailer, I thought it was a spin-off of Infamous. So I was like, okay, you've got kind of like superpowers, but it's like you're this girl in a very different world.
Yeah.
But no, that's the new Remedy Games game that they've been working on. P7, I guess, was what it was being called before that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hope it's good. I hope that it's not another Quantum Break, which was fine. It was fine, but it wasn't great compared to things like Alan Wake or Max Payne.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it looks good. It's like a SCP meets PsyOps kind of vibe to it. And
SCP?
Yeah. SCP, the Secure, Contain, Protect.
The heck is that?
It's a series of Wikipedia articles about creepy objects or creatures that people write, all based around this secret government organization called the SCP that has to go out and find these objects and contain them.
Weird. Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's a great website. You can spend hours just digging through articles about haunted videotapes, or here's a creature that has only bones and it eats people, and here's a thing that only moves when you're not looking at it.
Oh, like the Rake?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Better.
Man. Yeah.
It's a really cool website. And then there's like some funny ones thrown in there. But yeah, this game gave me a lot of SCP vibes.
I thought for sure you were talking about that movie that came out, RDP or whatever it was called. I was like,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds and Old Man, yeah.
I forgot the other guy. It wasn't Gary
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. There you go. Yeah. So I was like, that looks nothing like that, but okay.
No, God, no.
But yeah, I actually knew it was Remedy as soon as I saw it, because just like Quantum Break, the animation looked really similar. Yeah, and I was like,
yeah, I should have recognized that.
Yeah, but I was like sitting here, I was like, this looks like Quantum Break. Is this Quantum Break? Oh yeah, it's Remedy. Huh.
Hey, look at that.
But yeah, it looks badass. Like I don't know about the gun thing. Like I'm not too confused about that. I almost thought it was a cube game, and I was like, what is this? Which would have been okay as well, I think, if it was like a hypercube or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about Contrast. I need to play Quantum Break. I've owned it for at least a few months now, and I haven't even started playing that because I know about the cutscenes. So Control. Sorry. What did I say earlier?
Contrast.
Yes, I own that as well. But yeah, Control, definitely. I'm more interested in that now that I know it's Remedy. If it was Sucker Punch, I'd probably been like, eh. But Remedy, that usually means it's coming to PC, hopefully, as well.
Oh, it will be. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so I'm excited about that as well. What else was there in Sony?
So the next thing they showed, hold on. Because the next thing that they showed, in order. I know a lot of people who watch Bombchu are not Destiny fans.
Oh, here we go.
But I play Destiny, so this caught my eye. They showed off a trailer for Forsaken, the new expansion coming to Destiny 2, and that trailer definitely has me intrigued because they took so it starts off just straight up on Cade 6's face. Cade 6 is a major character in the game, played by Nathan Fillion. Yeah. And so he's very lovable, and it's just like, yeah, fuck yeah, Nathan Fillion. And so it's just on his face for like several seconds, and it slowly just starts turning. You see his ghost, that's his little ally that keeps him revived and everything like that. And it just gets popped straight out of the sky, and it keeps turning and turning, and suddenly you get this other figure, this dark figure. It's a guy from Destiny 1. And he's got a gun pointed straight into the screen where Cade, like pointed wherever Cade 6 is behind the camera, pulls the trigger, and it slowly turns back, and all these creatures are coming in, and Cade 6 is dead. And like that's how they're opening with this story. Cade 6 is dead.
It's a ballsy move.
It's a very ballsy move. It was a brutal trailer. I was like, is that like maybe that's somebody else and not Cade 6? Like, Jesus Christ, this is brutal. And like the music is really sad. Like, oh my god, like that shocked me. And I had to read online later. It was like, yep, that's Cade 6, and he's dead in this story. It was just, oh man. Final bit of Sony.
Death
Stranding. We can't not talk about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what this game is.
I don't know what it's about. I don't.
We got some gameplay.
The more I see, the more confused I am. And now that we've got the girl from Spectre, that last James Bond movie, and she like ate a caterpillar that was also a baby,
dude,
or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? She like crunched it up. Oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah.
It looks like most of the game is you just like carrying.
You're just
stuff
walking
on your back.
Yeah.
One of the things he had on his back looked like a person just like
a
sitting
body,
on there. Yeah, which is really cool. But I think one of the things that follows him is like turns into a gun I don't know.
That's what it looked
That's
like.
what it looked like.
And
But
he's still got the baby in his tummy that he can talk to, and the baby's like, okay, I'm down for that, whatever.
I got an idea. I'm gonna use this baby as a light source. Yeah. and that looked pretty fucked up.
I'm still really confused by this game. I still think it's gonna be awesome, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's cool to see Kojima Unchained.
Yeah, I bet Sony's like, come on, man, you gotta hurry up. We've already paid $100 million on this. Yeah. It'll definitely make its money back though if it did cost that much. People are gonna buy it just for sheer what the fuck.
Just to tell Konami to go fuck themselves with a pachinko machine.
Yep. Speaking of which, they didn't have many games except for that wasn't theirs either. Never mind. I can't remember one Konami game that they showed.
Oh, they showed something, didn't they?
They didn't make Neo, right? That was Koei Tecmo, or was that Konami?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was Koei. Hang on a second.
I think they have like a game in development, but
that's the thing. Well, because they had made that statement a while back that they were done making games, or they didn't feel like making games
so
anymore.
So now they're really done.
Well, then they came back. They're like, we'll do like Metal Gear Survive, and we got some other stuff kind of coming
next year. Metal Gear Survive 2. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You have to pay $10 for a save slot.
20 now. It's double.
It's 20 now?
No, I'm just talking shit.
Oh shit! I would have believed it.
Okay, so Sony, overall, I think like content-wise, they were fine. I think it was just their presentation that was kind of weird.
Very confusing.
The guys at the desk they did not need because they were literally just, we're not going to get anything out of a bunch of guys at the desk that work for Sony. Like, why the hell would you put Sony? They're not Sony employees, but 4 people at a Sony booth as like a live, chat thing, and they're not going to say, that was badass. What game are you excited for? Marvel's Spider-Man. Definitely that game. Yes, that one we spent a lot of money on. It looks amazing. Like,
I mean, if they had anything important to say, they needed to be on stage.
Exactly. I think that was kind of a miss on their part, and that's why they weren't like near even my top list. It's like, this is stupid. Then they went from there into like, they had some weird intermission, like for 10 minutes of them talking.
Yeah, they're like, let's just take a break from our own show.
The show started, kind of.
We know you guys are getting sick of this shit, so let's just take a breather and kind of chill for a minute, and then we'll get back to the other stuff.
So Nintendo, they kicked off with a mech game called Daemon. It's actually called Daemon X Machina. I thought it was Demon X Machina. I don't know what got in my brain. And basically, it's made by Marvelous Studios, I believe, or Marvelous. Maybe they're different than Marvelous.
AQL, I think, it might be localizing it.
Okay, so they're localizing it. It looks cool.
Xseed, basically.
Oh, see, that I didn't pick up on. I was just like, Marvelous is involved. I know
they
they're
changed
good.
their name at some point.
Those sons of bitches. But it looks pretty cool. I hope it's multiplayer at least, because it looks like a game that should be multiplayer if it isn't. It may fill the void for Zone of the Enders for me, because it definitely gives me that vibe, like most of the time. Not as much flying, but definitely more, the face even look kind of like Zone of the Enders. So
yeah, very flashy combat style game.
Yeah, outside of that, go ahead.
It reminded me of a N64 game that I'm trying to remember the name of. It was a rail shooter. It was only in Japan for a while.
Sins of the... Oh, shit. I know what you're talking about.
Sin and Punishment.
Sin and Punishment, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I was getting really strong Sin and Punishment vibes from that
hope it's not a rail shooter, man. That looked way too bad.
No, I don't think it is. But it just had that similar kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
It looked good. Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, like Nintendo didn't really talk much. Like there was more kind of Sony's approach of here's a game. They just kept rolling. Like Reggie was like, everyone loves us, basically is what he said. Let me show you.
We're great. Here's our stuff.
Yeah, let me show you that I have a Pokeball and you motherfuckers don't. That's pretty much his job in that. And then, of course, you get a Mew with the Pokeball.
Which in it, so no one's going to be able to buy one.
Yeah. So now it's gone. It's already pre-ordered to death. No, it hasn't, but soon, believe me. But yeah, that looks cool. I'm definitely getting Pokemon. I already was planning on it without the Pokeball thing, but
I don't really care. Like, so the battle system is the same battle system I hate about Pokemon.
Exactly.
But
flashier.
I get to carry around whatever Pokemon I want in this Pokeball.
But you could play co-op with your
I'm gonna
wife.
do that. Yeah, that too. Except she's not very interested in this game. So I was like, well, I'll just play it by myself. I'm gonna carry whatever Pokemon I want in this Pokeball. I'm gonna shake it at my desk, and it's gonna call out. And everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck is Austin doing?" Like, yeah, man, Pokemon.
if it's online and it looks as good as it does, I could definitely see myself playing just like Pokemon Stadium style bullshit there, 2-on-2. But yeah, hopefully it has some little mini games, something like Pokemon Stadium related, that way there's more to the game than just here's Pokemon Red or Yellow with some extra shit added. But yeah, I'm getting it because I have to. My girlfriend wants it, so it's a hard requirement now, guys. Then they showed Super Mario Party, which I'm
before we get to that,
okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. I legitimately thought that was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 2. Because it was still in Japanese, and like all the other stuff that they've shown has been like in English. And so I was like, oh, this is in Japanese, it's not ready yet. But this looks a lot like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's like, oh, this is very much Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I was like, how the hell is it gonna be 2-2, kind of like 10-2 or 13-2 from Final Fantasy?
Comes 2 with 4.
But no, it turns out it was like an actual expansion pass. And what they revealed after the fact was apparently it comes with like a challenge mode that has blades for Shulk and was it Fiora or Fiona from the first game?
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's badass. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, okay, that's pretty.
And I bought the expansion pass. I tried to play it after New Game Plus, but honestly, I just can't get back into it after opening so much stuff.
Yeah.
But
so I'm kind of trying to wait till those all come out before I really get into the game.
Yeah. So I definitely beat it. I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but there was no like want for me to go back in after I beat it, because you restart from the very beginning, no maps, no teleports, and I was like, I'm just overpowered and this is boring now. So definitely interested in the DLC though. That sounds like it'll be fun, especially with the challenge mode, some other stuff there. So now we're going to Super Mario Party.
Oh man, this looks crazy cool.
It could be good. Can we get a good?
No, that's
another
a must buy.
Mario Party game, please?
Dude, okay, when they have the two switches and they're like reorienting them, I'm just like, okay, how do we want? And then they just swipe across and it's like, okay, this is the orientation. I was just my mind was blown. I love when Nintendo does just crazy kooky shit like that.
Hell yeah. And it looks like there's some traditional Mario Party as well. No more all riding in the same car bullshit.
Oh my god, fuck that car. It's finally
I hope they bring back the Bowser game, though, because that was cool.
That was cool. That was cool as shit.
That was really fun to play. And the big thing is, like, it's a party. So even if they mess up everything else, I'll buy just the goodbye switches with Austin and you, Chris. And see how much shenanigans
as long as we get some good mini games, I'll have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And that would also be pretty fun to do, like, waiting in line at PAX. You know?
Which is anybody be like, fight me. Baseball me. The baseball looked really cool too. Like they had it back to back, and then it knew when it was reaching the other side, which I guess they can emulate pretty easily.
Yes, you can have like team views rather than just. I guess you could. Everything has to be playable on the TV as well. But,
of course,
man,
but they probably have cool like specific mini games for if you have like two switches versus like just one. Yeah, which is badass. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that one's surprising, and I think it's coming out next year, or is it this year on that one? I can't remember. It's coming out October 5th. Never mind.
Hell yeah.
I have notes for all of those. So yes, that one's coming out definitely this year, and that's another must buy for me. Damn. So, then Fortnite finally got confirmed. So what's sad about that? Everyone knows about Fortnite. I'm not going to go into that. PS4 can't play on there using their accounts.
PS4 still refuses to do crossplay.
So if you're not familiar with what happened, like essentially, like if you tied your account to your Sony account on PS4 or your PlayStation account with your Epic Games account, you cannot use that account, that Epic Games account, not Sony, Epic Games account on Nintendo Switch. Or actually, I've figured out that you can actually use the Nintendo Switch account, or I didn't figure out, I learned you can't use the Nintendo Switch account if you made it there on Sony system either, because it completely blocks you and says you have to make a new one or just use a different account, which is, I think that's pretty shitty on Sony's part overall, and they didn't mention anything about it. They were just like, meh. So if that was intentional, that's pretty fucked up. I doubt it's intentional. I bet they were just like, well, this is how we tie our accounts and protect ourselves, but they need to get on board on this cross-party stuff, man. It's bullshit. Besides that, there are a lot of indie stuff. Like they honestly did
Overcooked 2.
Yeah, they did Overcooked 2. I mean, they did Hollow Knight.
Killer Queen.
Wait, is it online co-op? Oh shit, I didn't know about Overcooked 2. So they did a lot
Killer
of stuff
Queen
in there.
is an arcade game that has not been on anything else. It's like ultra popular,
Switch.
and it's
like
coming to Switch and PC.
It's like an 8-player co-op arcade cabinet thing that was only arcades for a while.
That's crazy.
It's like 5-on-5 or something like that.
Yeah,
so there's
it's
like
insane.
one player on each side is the queen, and the other ones are her workers who like have to do shit, but the queens try to kill each other's workers and defend their own. That's a crazy looking game.
See, I didn't know it was arcade first. That's badass. Damn.
Yeah, I had heard about this game. It feels like it was years ago that they finished it, but yeah, I was like, it's only in arcades, so I guess I'll just never play it then.
Yeah. Wow.
But, yeah,
cool.
I'm excited.
And that's coming out this year too. Like a lot of the stuff they showed in that sizzle trailer, because they actually covered like 25 or so games in that sizzle trailer, and a lot of them were like out now or out later this year, and it was
it seems
very surprising.
So they actually came out and explicitly said the reason you didn't see stuff like Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, things like the next Pokemon, the main series anyways.
Okay.
Is that they wanted to only show stuff that was coming out this year or very early 2019.
That's badass, dude. Good job, Nintendo. Yeah. We're like, no, deal with it. So that's a good strategy. I mean, what they've been doing so far has been working. Like there's so many games in there I want, and that's a problem because like even Dragon Ball Fighter Z is coming, and I think I heard a rumor a long time ago, but I already own it on PC, and I kind of want to get it on Switch just to have it as well there.
I'm probably going to get it on Switch so I can play it on the road.
Yeah, and I bet there's going to be like crossplay, hopefully. If they find a way to tie accounts, I doubt they will, but that'd be great. But
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I doubt they'll get that far into it, but at least crossplay so I can play with like PC crowd too. That'd be badass. Yeah. So at least I could play wherever I want, play online, same servers, not have to worry about it. That'd be pretty damn sweet.
Yeah, I would really hope they would have crossplay because I don't know if there's going to be enough of a fighting game community on Switch to really support a whole bunch of fighting games. So if they, I mean, it's Dragon Ball Z, so there's going to be a lot of people playing it. Plus,
they're going to get it regardless. Yeah,
huge word of mouth, but it would still be nice to see if it has crossplay just to make it matchmaking much easier.
And they just can't make it shitty to where like it runs like crap. That's the big thing because if it runs like crap, no one's gonna get it. If they're a fighting game fan like Fnatic, they don't want any of that loss in frames and stuff. So
no.
But yeah, that'll be a big thing. Exactly. So they have to be like stable, and they have to make sure like they can always play that way. Then we may see it pop up at fighting tournaments, just people playing on their Switches, which is what they're kind of going towards or wanting to go towards, which is pretty cool. Are we ready for the big one? Because this is going to be the
Super Smash Brothers.
It's everyone.
Ultimate. I'm surprised they got Sakurai back to sit down in that chair because he looks like he looks happy, but like kind of like, oh my god, I'm back here, even though I thought I was out.
I think I'm going to die this time.
I think the only way they got him to do this was so this seems to be basically kind of a Smash 4 base.
Yes.
But with a lot of refinements and a lot of adjustments made across the board.
And
more content.
It feels like we finally understand why they didn't want to say if it was a remake or a sequel.
Because
it's kind of a half step.
It's Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate.
So he didn't have to spend every waking moment of his life working on this for years.
Yeah.
And like stress eating him alive.
Yeah.
It was, let's take this, because Smash 4 was so like it's just a massive giant step of like 8-player battles, like everything that he wanted to put in the GameCube game of Melee that got cut along the way was in here. Like the 8-player battles, you got the final smashes, you got the custom this, that, and the other, you got the big amiibo support, like everything. That was his perfect game. And so if you have that perfect game, why not just keep refining it for the next system?
And what better way to refine it than to add every fighter who's ever been in any of the games?
I'm glad that was one of their focuses.
That was amazing.
It was just like, I was like, okay, who's going to be left out? And they were like, oh, every fighter. Every fighter.
Young Link.
Every fighter.
Yeah. When I was like watching, I was like, wait, Pichu's back? I was getting confused. I was like, wait a second. They have
Echo Fighters was a great idea.
That was smart.
Finally, they can finally address
Daisy.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. I'm really happy basically everything. Like just to run down like kind of stuff I had. Like I definitely wrote down that all fighters were returning. Looked like the graphics kind of got a bit of an overhaul, like not like a major one, but definitely some kind of polish was applied, I guess. I mean, it was just like, you know, let's put a new
It's like a high res.
yeah, something like that. So definitely because I'm assuming they're aiming for 60 frames per second again on it.
60 frames per second, 1080p when docked, and it's 720, 60 frames per second when in handheld.
Take me now, Sakurai. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Of anybody that can do it at their company, it's always Sakurai. It's like, yeah, we can get those. We can hit that. We can do that with Smash, even though it's like the most chaotic game in the fucking world. I was concerned a little bit with the small roster for the unlock because it looked like fucking small, but I like
they compared it to 10? The 64 roster.
Yeah, you start off with as many characters as that, so I think that's 10.
But
10
I liked unlocking characters in Melee. That gave me a lot of stuff to do, so I'm cool with that.
And like they said, they want to try to make it feel interesting and fun and engaging when you get new characters.
Exactly, and that's how it should be. Like I don't remember even unlocking characters in 4. Like,
they were all unlocked from the start.
Okay.
So
that's why I don't remember.
Which was nice for like jumping into playing with your friends immediately, but at the same time, it was like, okay, I don't really play this outside of when I have friends over now because like there's
nothing to do yourself. Yeah. I kind of did the challenge mode in that one, but I didn't really care because I was like, I'm not unlocking anybody.
I tried it once and it was like, okay, that was kind of cool. But
never gonna do that again.
Yeah, but hopefully there's like it brings back that whole Melee thing of like, oh, secret ways to unlock that guy. You have to do this 10,000 times or something stupid.
I like that. Yeah. If you want to unlock YouTube, play for 200 hours.
Yeah, and they have that little like they even did it for we'll talk about him later. He's too badass. So I'm gonna save him for last. But so another change like they made was kind of just like tweaking the characters, and I guess they had time to do that between the last DLC character and now, so they kind of just made like small changes.
There was a big chunk of the presentation of Smash that was dedicated to just
little
like
technical
stuff.
It's badass.
This is kind of nice. I like this.
I like the changes that they made to combat of like dodging and shields.
Yeah.
To where like dodging in the air, you get like to dash a bit, so you can actually kind of recover better, and it punishes people who just like dodge spam, which I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot. So I'm glad that I won't have as much incentive to do that anymore. The perfect blocking and stuff like that. Like,
they made
lots of really technical stuff that it was just like, hey, our hardcore Smash community, here's what you can expect from the game. I'm curious how fast it's going to play. It looked a little bit faster, but not like nearly as fast as Melee, obviously, because that was just ridiculous compared to what it is now. I hope they never get that fast, just because that's not very accessible to anyone who's not like a Melee player.
And I completely agree with that. I completely understand that change. Like I don't want it to be faster. I want it to be just balanced, fun, and deep. That's Smash Bros for me. Balanced, fun, deep. So one thing that I like was when they put the charges on things, because that's really going to be funny, because then like, oh, I grabbed that thing, I still have it. That's going to piss me off when I play the villager against a villager now. So
I was going to say I was disappointed, extremely disappointed, that Waluigi and Bomberman are still just assist trophies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I really wanted Waluigi to be in there. I didn't think Bomberman was going to be in it, but I was kind of hoping he would be a character, but I was like, at this point, it would be dumb not to put Waluigi as a playable character, and he's still not a playable character.
Even with the Echo Fighters, you're right. Yeah, damn. What I do like is the costumes they're putting in look really unique for each person. Like you wear like
they're
the top
putting a
half
lot
Mario.
And they actually change like their effects a little bit. Like, oh, it changes the sounds or their voice lines or whatever.
That's gonna be badass. And of course, people that already bought the amiibos, they don't have to worry about like going and buying brand new set. They can use the old ones. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about
I only have to buy like 13 or something like that for this one, because all the fighters that returned, like Snake, being voiced by David Hayter, of course. I'll finally get a Snake amiibo. Ice Climbers. As soon as I saw Ice Climbers, I thought of you, because I know that was kind of your favorite.
He was awesome.
I was excited to see Ice Climbers come
best
back.
group. You probably can't do chain wraps anymore though, because it's not as fast. But fuck it, we'll do it. We'll figure something out there. But yeah, I was excited to see them back. I'm excited about Pichu, even though he still does the stupid shock. I was like, you better not make that happen. I was like yelling at my screen, like, yeah, he still shocks himself. I was like, all right. I
He's
don't even
still
remember.
bottom tier character, but he's still great.
Oh no, man, he's top tier now. He's gonna be the best ever. You'll see.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and everything they did was really smart. Like the GameCube controller for the Switch, which they showed the port, and I don't know if they're gonna make like another adapter for it or.
So you can use the Wii U adapter, and then they're also going to sell. It sounds like just a new version of that, which is, it sounds like it's going to be the same thing. But if you have it already, then you can just still use it.
Yeah. Well, there is one more fighter though. It was Ridley, who was a boss in other ones, which I was surprised they finally made him playable.
So heavily requested for Smash 4,
awesome.
and every time people requested him, they were just like, "He's too big. We can't put him as a character in this game." Yeah. And so this time they were just like, "You know what?
He's small.
Fuck everyone. If we're gonna add everyone back, then why not? Let's give them what they want, so they'll shut up about it, and I can retire."
Yeah. Let me get some sleep for the first time in 30 years. Here's Ridley.
Yeah, that's really badass. Like he looks big as hell still. Like I think he's still pretty big, but he's fast. So I think
everybody was worried like a shrunken down Ridley would look too goofy or it would look unidentifiable.
He looks good. It looks
great. It looks awesome. I'm glad he's finally in the game.
That's gonna be really cool. And I like the trailer they did. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I like the trailer they did for him as well. They kind of like killed people, but I guess that's okay. Like Mega Man, you're dead. Mario, you're snatched. Now I'm spinning his hat, Cappy. Now I'm the owner or some weird shit. That was really bizarre, but I thought it was cool. I don't know why they had like Zero Suit Samus come out the end like that was gonna lead into something else, but I was kind of like, wait, who's gonna jump out now? I thought there was gonna be another reveal. It's just her, so I was like, okay, fair enough.
Maybe we will get. So the return of some like story stuff in the main game, and that might be like Ridley's
Subspace
reveal.
Emissary or
Because Brawl had all those great cutscenes.
They did
that were split up by
awesome.
Some really dumb story missions, but
it was still fun though.
The story was cool. And I just love all the FMV stuff that they do. Smash 4 they did a bunch, but it was all promotional stuff, and none of it was in the game.
Yeah. It was just kind of like it's there for you to watch online. But yeah, I completely agree. I hope there is some, if not subspace type thing, like maybe just an adventure mode with some weird stuff for each person or something. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. Even just single player and be like, you're gonna fight her now because you're there. Ho-ho.
Yeah, just a series of battles. I would be totally down for that.
There's a couple of cutscenes along the way. I think that'd be fine. I mean, needless to say, the channel's called Bombchu. I'm excited for Smash Bros. Excited for almost everything Nintendo. What was that?
I thought it was interesting that he said he's hoping people don't expect a lot of new challengers.
Right, so we may not get anything or many
beyond that. Yeah,
characters beyond this. Although I'm betting that they would do DLC. You know,
I would assume so, but I mean, I'm hoping at launch that Ridley's not the only.
Also Inkling as well.
Well, and then Inkling.
They have 6 months? Yeah. So I mean, they have a blog up. They did something similar, I think, with it wasn't the last one, but I think with Brawl, where they kept revealing like new things every week or something like that.
Yeah, on the Smash Dojo.
Yeah, so I imagine they'll do something similar. They'll probably have like a Smash Direct at some point closer to the date, and they'll be like, here's 2 new characters. And one's gonna be I can't even think of who I would want in there now.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Cranky Kong, that's who I want.
Yeah, because they're not gonna get Banjo-Kazooie in there.
Look,
dude,
Microsoft explicitly said they were like, if y'all want to use him, you can, and we are totally down for that. And it got really high in the Smash votes.
Yep.
I forgot about that, yeah.
And if that's, right. I mean, Nintendo's pretty smart lately, so collaborations, man, they'll do it. Okay, and that's pretty much all I mean, that is not pretty much. That's all the conferences, the major stuff. Anything outside the conferences you guys know about that you want to talk about?
Yakuza's coming to PC.
Yeah, that's cool. Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami are both coming to PC.
Yakuza what? What was the other one?
Yakuza 0 and Kiwami.
Oh, not 6 though, right?
No, not yet. I'm guessing that they'll do the rest.
I think they're building to getting the whole series on PC.
God damn it! I have to rebuy all those games.
So I've never gotten to play any Yakuza stuff. So I straight up, as soon as they said that, I went out on Steam and I pre-ordered Yakuza 0 because it's $18, and I was like, if this sucks, I don't even care.
Yeah, Yakuza 0 was made recently, so it's pretty damn good. Damn.
Yeah, I heard 0 was really good, and I heard Kiwami's a really good remake of 1.
Yeah, I only got into it recently, like Yakuza, but damn, I would have definitely got it on PC instead. But definitely my best of E3. I guess we can go through those real quick. It's let me think. Let me think on that one, because I was gonna say Smash instinctively, but there were some other games I was a little more ready for. No, I'm a big Smash fan. It's Smash Bros. That's my best. Yeah, that's my best pick of E3. Like Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's hard not to do it. I've played Smash Bros. Competitively at tournaments for Melee. I got like second in a couple of tournaments, and I've played like hours in college for Melee. I've played hours with Austin on the Next Game Brawl. I've played hours of 4 at PAX and stuff like that. Like Smash Bros. Is definitely my game. I don't even play the original that much, but definitely E3 wise, like it delivered on every front. The only thing that came close to it for me is Fallout 76, and it's not even really something I can wrap my head around still, So that's my favorite of E3 game reveal anyway. Overall, what do you guys think? If you can pick one that quickly.
All right. So I'm gonna give runner-up to Doom 2 as well as My Friend Pedro, but the game that I am just really the most psyched for, that I just get chills every time I watch the trailer for, is Sea of Solitude.
Nice.
Yeah, that just I can't wait to get my hands on that game. I hope it does. I hope it lives up to the trailer and what they've kind of, and I believe it will. The studio behind it is really pouring a lot of love into it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's from EA, it sounds like they're kind of hands off on it, and that sounds great to me.
Nice, Chris.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. I'm really interested to see how that turns out. But I mean, Doom Eternal is
Nice.
Could not be more excited for any game ever. I mean, it's hell on earth. It's everything I want. I'm really excited for Doom Eternal.
Awesome. All right, so I guess that wraps it up for basic E3 stuff. Any thing we may have missed that you guys want to mention, or we good here?
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, watching, sitting along with us for this E3 2018 journey. We're going to go ahead and log out for now. But again, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.
Catch you later.
Bye.